much like that, Dave. We can't do this for you.
Okay. So go ahead and make your concealment roll. Still waiting on it. Hey!
Wow.
Worked. Now let's go ahead and see how their search roll goes. Congratulations, you do in fact sneak lockpicks into your cell. At which point, once they leave you, there's only a handful of guards on duty. You can try to conceal your. You can try to quietly pick the lock, which will be a silence check versus their perception, and then the actual chance to pick the lock.
This isn't a wizard tower, right?
It is.
Oh, I didn't know they had a prison.
I do.
They do.
I
Sometimes people
am
go
in a
insane and they
city
need to keep
still, right? I
people.
can silent move with bonus. We can go through this again.
Indeed. And in this case, this would benefit from your urban bonus. Okay? And then go ahead and try and pick the lock. Alright. So you spend your first few minutes in jail trying to pick the lock. And though nobody hears you, a guard will begin wandering by, checking on the individual cells. What are you doing as you hear him coming by?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just fiddling.
You go ahead and act casually. Do you want to give a charm roll to see if you can pretend properly? You're not up to anything? Where's my perception? Alright. Well, you're no diva, but this guard apparently just sort of looks at you, sees that you're in your cell, you don't seem to have anything in your hands, you're not up to anything. So he moves along and goes down a few cells towards one of the noisier people in the dungeon and starts rattling with a club against their cell bars. Hey, you! Calm down. I'm trying to think here. And he will busy himself elsewhere for the time being. However, he is in your cell block for the time. Would you like to continue trying to pick the lock?
Oh, no, not until the guard leaves.
Okay. We'll go ahead and transfer to someone else for the time being then. And come back to you in a little bit. Let's go ahead and see how Berthold is doing.
Okay.
Alright. What's up?
Well, where has the week left me?
About where we discussed, you are free to go around the city, do what you want, talk to whoever you want, and use the small funds that you have gathered so far.
Well, if we're
Your
going
letter
off
is
of what we've discussed, then yeah, the first thing would be a strongly worded letter to my parents.
indeed dictate a little bit of that out. You have not paid my allowance enough this month. As my dutiful son, I demand more.
Well,
Something of
no.
that tune, right?
I mean, maybe. I mean, be like, dearest Papa, the amount you have sent me is but a mere pittance to the amount that I would normally receive on such days, given the degree that the ruffians have attacked me, ruining my goods and transport, as well as killing my guards. I require at least enough money to get back on my feet, lest the Hartman name be dragged through the mud by having a noble, the eldest noble of the Hartman name, besides yourself, of course, having to live in squalor, such as the peasants. It would be seen as... I could not even begin to describe the ruination to be done to our... like that, basically.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Go ahead and give me a charm as you lay down the charm, and just transcribe it.
I assume etiquette will actually work this time.
Absolutely.
What about Schemer?
Yeah, I think that applies too, doesn't it?
I am scheming. For money.
It's true. Ooh, a fantastic test.
6 degrees of
Keep that
success.
result and throw it at me later, because, well, the letter does still take time to go out and the money to come back, so we'll cover that in a bit. Or, well, that'll take like a week, so. In the meantime, so you've written out your letter. What else do you want to do with your day?
Well, I've got to go out talking to nobles.
Yes.
I
Going out and talking to the nobles.
I
You
live
do know that there's a party later tonight.
Right. I've learned that over the last week, I assume.
Mm-hmm. This is correct.
But I've been staying in the barracks, which places me in the higher end region of Middenheim, so I have access to these folks.
Right, you're just a few blocks down from Grafsmund and North Garden.
Right, and the Freeburg. So yeah, I'll hobnob with the nobles and say the things that I've said to you that I would like to say.
Alright. As you spend your day, going around, talking to nobles of various stripes, go ahead and give me a charm check with them.
And I assume the same bonuses apply, because they are still nobles, and I am still scheming.
Indeed you are.
Still a success.
A bare success, and, well, they all nod their heads, politely and ask to learn more. And they seem keenly interested in the things that you, have to say. So, how many people can you affect with a charm roll at once?
50, I think.
Alright.
I have the ability to charm 10 times the amount of my fellowship score. Hold on a sec. I always forget, but the point being is... Or is it public speaking? I have public speaking. You know how to work a crowd. You can affect 10 times the normal number of people when using a charm skill. And I believe that number is... Normally I'd be able to charm 5, but I can do 10 times, which means I can charm 50.
Right. So, if I would say over the course of the day, you can get around to talking with as many people. And of course, many of them are the Nueva rich, the merchants of the city who've made plenty of money, the guild masters, and those who don't have strict titles to nobility. But there are plenty of the idle rich who are around to listen as well, as you go around shaking hands, introducing yourself, and making sure everyone knows what you're up to, and they are interested in pitching in for it. But where could they possibly do that?
When you say where, what exactly is the where you're referring to?
Well, since I know your plans, at the very least, they are interested in where these events may take place.
Ah, okay. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to clear my throat while I was on mic. Well, if we finish construction of the field in the Great Park, we can set up an arena by which our teams might be able to play against one another with an audience that pays money to see them.
Ah, yes, Bernabas Stadium. Ah, fantastic. I remember the chariot races that used to occur there. Before the terrible siege occurred. Now it's all muddy and those, awful refugees live there. You'd have to clear them out somehow, and, well, until they leave the city, doesn't seem like they intend to move.
Or, and I might throw this out there, merely I thought, we might employ them. Put them to work, you see. Make an honest wage out of them.
Well, that would certainly help get them out of the way and into something productive and spending all of their time whining. But where would you find the money for this?
Now I'm confused because it seems like they were just willing to do that a minute ago.
Oh, I'm sorry about my impression of that. They are interested in the plans and of forming their own groups.
Right, but part of
The
the
stadium is
discussion...
generally considered a bit of a public property.
Well, I guess that's a different discussion then with the bailiff.
Indeed it would be. And Gustav, you were going to get... not those people.
All people.
I don't suppose that other thing I whispered you has any chance of happening.
It does. I was just wondering if you were going to, mention it.
Well, I mean,
I thought it was
that's a
hypothetical.
you to me thing, not a me to you thing. I'm talking about the one I whispered you in game chat before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can definitely, arrive there if you would like.
Arrive where?
Where...
I think we're being coy, so I don't exactly know what you're talking about anymore.
Alright, since it could very well, appear and happen next, you could very well arrive at the cell if you would like.
Oh, okay, we're just gonna skip over the middle part then. Okay.
Yeah, the middle part can be very much assumed to happen.
Right, but if we don't say it, then nobody knows how the hell I got there.
Well, presumably they will find out.
Okay, you're the storyteller. I'm just trying to make it... Because if we keep saying that we whisper things back and forth, then A, the other players have no idea what the fuck is going on, and B, a viewer might be very confused. That's my main concern.
Alright, well, we'll summarize it, since it's not going to be too difficult. You did, in fact, make contact with some of Kadesi's friends previously. And
They would make contact with me again is the point, because I'd have no reason to make contact with them.
okay. They are at least aware of Kadesi's current imprisonment through their own channels, and they know that you happen to be a very, well, the richest person they might happen to know.
At this point, I feel like I should just said it out loud. The setup didn't happen.
But they do, request your assistance.
Right, at
Of
which
course, are willing
point...
to return the favor in the future.
Yes. Well, I mean, return the favor in the future. I helped them get out of a silver mine that they were trapped in. This is doubling down on favors.
Indeed.
So yeah,
But,
at which point...
having so many favors in your favor is favorable.
I had no follow-up to that.
Indeed. But you do intend to head there and,
Right.
assist.
And I'm not too far. Again, we've already covered that I'm near the Freiburg anyway.
Okay. So you head over to the Wizards Guild, or college. And of course, given your noble nature, you are allowed to go down and, talk with the prisoner and talk to the, local jailer about possible bail. Around this same time, Gustav also arrives with a Sigmarite in tow.
And very in the end,
I'm sorry, what was that last word you said?
a Varinian priest.
Oh,
Yes.
Varinian priest, okay.
A young priest and an old priest. So, hand in hand with your, best of friends, you arrive down there, with the jailer, and with, of course, Berthold, arriving just shortly before you. Berthold.
I say, jailer, come over here. Come over here just this instant.
That means getting out of my chair. That sounds, All right. And he'll shuffle up, and the poorly man will just kind of like wander over. So how can I help you, sir?
You see this girl here, in this cell, right here.
Yes, I see
Um,
her over there.
just, sorry,
I
just before.
demand that you remand her to my custody this
Sorry,
moment.
just before. I'm walking towards the cell as well. So can I hear that?
Indeed.
All
The
right.
jailer, of course, will respond very quickly and say, well, we have rules for bail, and as I understand it, some of the wizards are particularly interested in this one. She's not just some crazy we keep around here. If you did post bail and take responsibility, if anything happens to her,
Excuse
if
me,
she doesn't
jailer.
appear...
Excuse
Oh,
me, sir. She is under the care of the College of Magic. She is not to be bailed.
Excuse me? She is a close personal friend of the Hartman family, and I flash the heraldic badge and say, and I will not be having a servant of my family be kept in such squalor. She will be remanded to my care, and I will see to her under my own supervision. Now, if you wish to
I am
undermine the
sorry, my
authority of
lord.
the noble house of Hartman, then take that up with the bailiff. But as for
I am
now, you
I
will
am
release
sorry, my
her
lord, but
immediately.
you have no. The noble houses have no. Are nothing. Only Viscount and the cult of Sigmar have authority over the Imperial Magic College.
the jailer will briefly say, as I understood it, Sir Wizard, you had said that she was here until a trial occurred.
Yes,
We do still fall under the laws of Middenheim.
but
And
I
the
know.
bail...
But the
Unless she is perhaps accused of being a true cultist or insane or a danger to the public or some
she
other
is
threat.
accused of consulting with Skaven. So yes, very much so.
They aren't real.
I've brought 2 priests with me to prove otherwise.
Well, I mean, if you say so, but I understand the law is the law. So until some sort of
I look.
trial occurs,
I'm gonna
and he
look to
says, looking over like the priest of Verena and the
yeah.
Sigmarite over your shoulder,
I'm
it
gonna
looks
look
like
to
it might
the
happen very soon, though.
She is accused of speaking with creatures? I'm sorry?
because I'm working with
That is
Agent of
not
Chaos.
immediately itself dangerous. I believe you all can understand.
Speaking with
Speaking to
Agent of
people?
Chaos is, and she's not just speaking, consulting with them.
Consorting. Consorting means speaking, and speaking is not itself dangerous. Now, if you are accusing her of murder, of being a psychopath, perhaps.
The Zavarian priest can back me up, or the Sigma
Guardian
right.
priest will look up and go, a conspiracy against the Middenheim, against the very empire itself, is a crime which must be dealt with.
You know what? Actually, hold on a sec. I have. Boom, hold on a sec. Let me just roll this to see what I come up with.
All right.
Academic knowledge law is in my
Ooh.
court.
Ah, yes. You do know the laws involved here. The jailer was in fact correct about the bail laws. Even though the college is its own entity, it still falls under the jurisdiction of Middenheim, so someone could post bail before a trial. The Verna priest is also correct. Conspiracy is a crime. However, you must still be able to prove conspiracy. Being merely in the presence of a conspiratorial element isn't quite enough for a crime.
And
However,
with
it
the
is enough for an
Sigmarian,
accusation.
and with the Sigmarian say otherwise, because they have the Sigmarite Inquisition.
She will burn for her heretical beliefs.
All right, thanks, Sigmar. Just
You're welcome.
not popping. But yeah, I mean,
Just to
They're-
clarify, this individual was the one from the sewers or a different one? You said it was one that you met before, and that's the only one I can remember right now.
What? What are you
The
talking about?
Sigmarite. You said it was
No.
one that you met before, right?
Just a priest of Sigma. I went to the temple to give them heretical document from the necromancer.
Okay,
Like,
okay. So
for
just
them
a
to
priest of
burn.
Sigmar, not
Yeah.
the Sigmar crazy town guards. Got
No.
it. Okay. He still says very much the same. They shall burn,
Yeah.
sorting with the enemies of the Empire.
So yeah, Bertrand will expound upon what he knows from the law, indicating then that the jailer was correct, and then will proceed to attempt to pay bail so that she might be released, remanded as he is said, under his care.
A trial shall occur immediately, the Verena priest says, looking over at Gustav. Assuming that you are ready to present your case, Sir Wizard.
Indeed, before the bailiff, I wish to present my case.
The bailiff is need not be involved. I will be serving as the judge, and my Sigmarite fellow shall be acting as the joint accuser on your behalf, as he is more schooled in our law than you are. You will be the primary plaintiff in this case, and of course, representing Middenheim itself, Incadesi is our defendant. We shall bring all the evidence that we have herein collected, and we shall commence the trial immediately. I do believe the
Then-
college has a room prepared for such things.
Then I need a bit of preparation before that. So I guess you, if it's a law, then it's a law. Pardon me, my lord. You can. I would much prefer to begin the trial tonight. So, if you wish to rule Baylor,
And so it shall be arranged. As the trial shall commence soon, she shall be jailed until said trial occurs in mere hours.
Who's saying that?
The Verena priest.
Right, but the jailer is actually in charge of that, and the law still extends to our side of the argument, being that
yeah. But we
she can be
like,
remanded until the actual court time, and if the court time isn't logically exactly now, then she still has a freedom of time.
The
that's
jailer
what
will,
I
of course,
said.
look at you and
Yeah.
go, well, if you're interested in having her out for a couple hours, well, that's on you if you want to pay that kind of money.
Of course. As I've said, she is a servant of the house. Hartman. Having her impugned in such a way is...
I'm sorry, my lord, but last time I checked, she was a mercenary. I didn't know she wasn't noble servant. Much less an elf.
Another matter to discuss for certain. All shall be revealed at the trial.
where I be forced to correct you on all things that you are incorrect about, then perhaps we would be here until the court time itself. I do not have that time, so I will leave you to your ignorance. In such due time, though, I would see her released from this cell.
Very well, I would like the trial to begin at sundown, then.
I believe that
Very
is
well.
up to the priestess.
It is agreed. Such is the time I had intended. I must prepare a few, notes of my own. And at this point, Berthold, you may pay for the bail. Since this is a high crime, it is rather high.
Is it a high crime, no? Because it has not been actually stated yet that
Well, it is-
conspiracy was actually a charge. Collusion was a charge. Conspiracy indicates intent, and intent was never proven.
Gustav, what are you attempting to charge her for?
Consorting with Skaven and possibly conspiring with Chaos.
You never said conspiracy until the priestess arrived. Conspiring
No.
is a different crime, and that's not as high as conspiracy.
Yeah, but that's why I'm trying to charge him for.
Yeah, but I'm saying that was never a charge when she got arrested. That was a charge trumped up after the fact. Like I
And,
The
said,
jailer will
collusion.
go ahead and straighten his belt a little bit and straighten out his shirt and think, well, given that the last time that she was brought in, as I've been told, she attempted to jump off roofs to escape. I think this presents a bit of a flight risk. I'm going to ask for a bond of 20 gold crowns. If she does not appear, it will be very serious. However, if she does, the gold is returned to you, as is the custom.
I open up the purse at my side and I give him 20 gold crowns.
And of course, he pulls out a small little contract for you to write your name and house and such, and where to be found. Of course, if she does not appear, then you will be charged with an. I'm trying to think of like the proper word here to describe aiding a criminal here, and potentially aiding with escape.
You mean literally aiding and abetting?
Yeah, there you go. You'll be charged with aiding, abetting, and have your own trial after which other people may post bail to.
God damn it, Gustav, you're such a fucking asshole.
I know that's
Ruining
why I
two
said-
players now.
that's why to Griff I said this is the last time I'm gonna play Gustav. He's
I
too good.
think I should
Yeah.
throw out there, I can see every whisper that's made in this game. So,
Yeah, but I've said like
because it's for the best, it's the viewers can also see the whispers.
yeah, no, but I say to Griff in private message on Discord, I ain't gonna.
No, I'm
After
saying I
stop
can
playing.
see that. I saw that when
Oh,
you
yeah.
said it. That's why I made the joke about you're such an ass right after you called yourself an ass.
Alright. So we'll go ahead and part it here for half a second. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little break, and we'll return with preparations for court, and
Sorry.
also find out what Mordren has been up to, who is a little disconnected from the activity here.
Well, it's funny because I whispered just before the game started. Go ahead, Griff, do your thing. I'm trying to cover.
Alright, here.
I'm trying to cover blank space with story time.
Yeah.
I covered before the game started a reason that Berthold might encounter Mordren and then hire him. Of course, you just made me spend almost all of my money, Emmerich, so that probably isn't going to come to fruition, because that's what I said. Congratulations, Gustav, for being an ass. You're ruining all the story elements. I mean, you're
I
creating
can
story
get your money
elements.
back if I don't run.
Yeah, but you're a thief.
I'm sorry.
I'm
should've-
also an elf,
retrospect.
and considering my family, and you just did me a huge favor. It's probably in my best interest to stick around.
Yeah, and as being a noble, I can't be seen as like, I don't have that much money, so the fact that it's most of my money, but I have enough, is like, okay, well, I've got to throw it out there. I can't be seen to be broke. Broke. It is the entire statement of the letter that I just sent. I did whisper Griff before, though. If I marry her, wouldn't that extend my high legal status to her as well? It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Khaleesi would not marry me just to get out of jail, and I wouldn't marry her. It's like, wait a second. This idea has no merit.
Yeah, but no, I need to come. That was a stupid thing to do as a player. Sorry, I should have done that.
Well, no, it makes sense. You've been saying you were going to do it for a long time. It's just the
Yeah,
idea of it. I'm going to go see my friend in the tower. Ah, grab you. I'm going to put you to sleep. A sleeper hold. It's funny, though. It's literally what sleep spell is. Yeah, touch somebody. It's a sleeper
Yeah.
hold.
There's a lot.
Every character I make, the first thing I think of is how is Emmerich going to fuck me over.
Sorry. I promise my backup is whatever is fine with whatever.
Of course, you have to be. You're like a freaking chaos spawn or a mutant or something, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No,
literally you've got to hold it back.
Actually, yeah, I'm mutant, even if no.
Well,
you can
because
see it,
remember
yeah.
though, that changes what your race is.
Yep.
Your
But-
race goes from whatever
yeah.
dwarf to dwarf mutant or
Mutant.
Yeah,
Yep. But my new sorcerer doesn't show anything, so.
right. But I mean, yeah, okay. Well, it depends. There are tells, even for the ones that don't have tells. You have the malign sorcerer, which probably means if somebody views you under magic sight or something like that, that there's something going around. But then again,
I'm
magic sight
probably
is like a
yeah.
weird acid trip anyway, so who knows what the hell that
And
means.
no, because I didn't get any chaos law, so they would just see that I have magic. But
Right, but you're a
since I
dwarf,
can
which is
cast
weird.
magic, yeah, not for runesmiths. Runesmiths have magic.
Yeah, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, but I am a runesmith.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going out of my way to mess with you. I'm just saying
No,
we'll figure
I
it out.
understand, but if I get any, actually, and things
Yeah,
that
back.
burn me out that I have got lesser chance of getting mutation because apparently Northern Dwarf is super resistant to mutation.
Yeah, but you're not like a halfling, which is impossible to get mutations.
Oh yeah.
I think they
Berthold
can still
was
get mutated. They just aren't allowed to be magical.
no. Well, I can't remember now. I just remember I was gonna have Berthold
No,
be
they
a
can have
halfling.
any. They're resistant to all mutation. I think all mutation, and they cannot be use magic because they're super resistant to magic.
Right.
I think. I am not sure.
Halfling mutants, very rare, but also possible.
I don't think they're even possible.
I don't think they're
I know.
possible.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
Well, regardless, they probably won't end up showing up. So, as far as we're
Yeah.
concerned, maybe they are impossible.
Victor's a chaos
You've never
spawn.
seen one.
What
How
the
do
hell
you know?
happened to you?
The Pie Chaos spawn.
And then you discover Eisen is actually a mutant all along.
Well, I mean, he's the bad guy. Bleach told me anybody named Eisen is a bad guy. They appear good, and
It's
halfway
been in
through
front
the
of me all
story,
along.
yeah, halfway through the story, you find out that they are the main bad guy of the entire series.
Yeah,
When they
very
take their
into-
glasses off and they twirl their hair back, and it turns out
Well, now I have to.
I've been
yeah, they-
every time you've said Eisen, except for this game today, I have put into the chat a GIF of Eisen from Bleach saying Eisen is the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Halfling can never become mutant.
Chaos. Oh yeah, immune to chaos mutations. Awesome.
But they can become crazy.
Yeah, crazy. All right. So things haven't gone quite the way I had thought they might,
Sorry.
which has left Mordren off doing his job. Mordren, how you doing? It's another great day. There is, of course, work to do, but what do you intend to do if not work?
Well, I had been toying with the idea that he came to the city to hunt Skaven, and that's why he picked up those bigger traps
Indeed.
and took this job. So
And if you,
he could be doing some extracurricular activity in the sewers.
Indeed. In fact, if you do your job, which is a good excuse to be in the sewers, you might talk to some of your compatriots. And of course, while sharing maybe a light little bit of lunch or something, they'll mention, well, you know the job it doesn't always last very long. The sewer jacks at least get to run away from the rats, but we got to go ahead and fight them. Sometimes there's bigger rats, and sometimes there's even bigger rats. You know, I heard Daisy yesterday didn't come back from her shift all the way down in 13B towards one of the exit pipes. I think they said that there's been some reports of some of the larger rats over there. Giant ones, rodents of unusual sizes. I can only assume she didn't make it.
Well, if I happen by that way, I'll see what I can see.
That'd be good of you, dwarf. But well, maybe no reason to go risking your neck now, you know? It's dangerous stuff. Maybe sometimes best just leave him alone until we can form a bigger group.
Well, I am, struck by the fact that rats will eat anything at any time. So let's hurry with that then, because I do intend to go down.
You're crazier than I thought. I'm not interested in fighting any ROUSs today. So you might be on your own, dwarf. Far be it from me to stop you. Mordren, got anything to say or anything you want to do?
He just rolls a shoulder and heads out, and will make for that section of the sewer.
Alright. You head towards the direction of outflow H42. You take this down. We got a number of tokens on the board. Most people won't see it, but I'm going to go ahead and drop everyone here just so that they can visualize this with you. Flash appears again.
I mean,
Ah!
you don't have to put me on there. I can see everything anyway. Actually, I was gonna say, no, I can't give everybody control of Mordren. Well,
Actually,
I can just give a. You have a torch somewhere? Here, how about this pile of gold?
oh yeah, the gold pile is actually very good. Good idea. But
Hammer.
let's see. You
Arcblade. No,
Yeah.
Arcblade doesn't need. He's got his token in the map.
It's alright,
you have advanced vision, and you know that the rats have to be somewhere around here.
And I cannot see.
Hold on, I'm adjusting that for you too. Advanced has sight.
Has sight.
Alright, everybody else can see too, right? From the pile of gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So now we have our observer unit and the party. So Mordren, you know the rats must be somewhere in this area. You could do a search check to get a better idea of where exactly, or you could just stumble about.
I'm going to try a search check.
Alright, go for it. Ooh. Very nice. I'm just gonna send one message real quick. Alright. So you go ahead and search the grounds, finding various traces of the presence of very large rats. You suspect they must have a den in this area, and it may very well be towards the southerly direction here. They might be hiding somewhere around the grate. So go ahead and advance as you will. If you're sneaking, you would roll silent move.
I don't have it trained, but he's going to try his hardest. So make of that what you will. So you have a move of 3.
Alright. Well, you can continue moving until I tell you to stop. I'm just observing you right now.
Alright.
The flow seems to be good. The sewer jacks have done their job, even though a lot of rubble remains on the free steps that you're supposed to travel along. But of course, taking stuff out of the sewers always is problematic.
Alright, I see something with a red outline here.
Indeed,
What?
it looks as if a lot of blood has dried into there. As if someone just took an entire bucket of it and splashed it all over the place.
Alright, he's going to check that out and look for any trail that might have been left by somebody having contacted wet blood, like either handprints on the walls or footprints. That will at least give
Indeed.
them a direction until the ship dries off.
Looking at it, you actually see that there is a bit of a blood trail. It appears as if there must have been something here, and some part of it must have been dragged away.
Alright, he's going to get here and I think set trap is an advanced skill that I don't have. Yes.
Good question.
Yeah, it is an advanced skill, so I can't actually set traps, even though I brought them.
Hmm.
Yeah, you put them on the ground and can't figure out how the fuck they work.
Yep. Some dwarf I am.
I probably want to check out how that skill reads just to see, like, is it absolutely essential, or if it hides it better, or what exactly happens here. Prepare and bait traps to catch various animals. Traps that immobilize and kill are both common used in the Empire. Skill test may be once per day per trap. Alright, so this seems to be more about actively using it, i.e. like how much you might catch, how well you bait it, how well you set it up. These are pre-made traps. You can set them on the ground, and whatever runs into them, runs into them. So if you maybe left them alone here for a while, you'd roll set trap to see if they caught anything.
Alright, he's gonna put a trap where he is there, and where him and the gold are, basically.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull out our favorite bear traps. That one stretches a little. Let's get the other one. There we go. That is a red token. That's a trap. There you go. There is now an active trap on the ground on the bridge. Are you going to cordon off the whole bridge? What's the plan?
Well, put one here and one here. So if they try to flank, because he's gonna try to bait them out and then, jump onto the other side of the bridge. That's the plan he's got going so far. Or he'll catch any that are trying to, encircle him.
Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and give you direct control of the traps. You've placed
Alright.
3 down. Yeah, you can move these traps to the exact location you want now. There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, and if you want more traps, go ahead and ask and I'll copy paste them.
That's all he has is 4 of those.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and put down a 4th one if you want to drop that anywhere. Red means they're armed, blue will mean they're disarmed.
Can you put Sigmar on for me? Because he would be there.
Sigmar is always with you. Alright. So this is the final locations you want. They can go ahead and stay there, and we'll remember them. Ah, there you go.
Yes.
Shift behind you, cover up the bridge. You are ready to go.
Wait. Yeah, I can't seem to lay my tokens down.
Oh, right. I guess if you can't see them, you can't move the other ones. There we go. I had trouble changing back to the object layer. Here we go. Alright. So you advance down the outflow pipe. You can see the morning light from outside. Or evening light at this point. Or maybe just midday. My time's all confused. Right, you're early in the day. You maybe see the midday sun outside, illuminating a fair share of the pipe in front of you. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Alright, let me get to that part of my sheet real quick.
All right. You can definitely hear the sounds of squeaking and hungry gnawing away from just around the corner from behind all that rubble. And you can hear some of it moving as you hear a voice say, "Yes, yes, my subjects, what's wrong? Is there someone coming? A guest?"
Well, they know he's here and can't really see anything beyond that little sliver of like elbows up here.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, get up there, ready to sling. And he has bullshit for ballistic skills, so that's what it stands for him.
Of course. But of course, as you turn the corner, the rat hisses at you, and you hear another voice from behind the corner. "Who is it? Who is
Well, he doesn't
here?"
have a sling.
You don't have
He
a
has a
sling?
bolus. He has
Oh,
a
yeah.
bolus. He's gonna throw it.
And of course, you see this figure stepped out from behind. Let you go ahead and do that. Well, your bolus misses.
And then he's going to
Uh, I'm going to
move.
leave that as your surprise. Go ahead and stay where you are. We'll
Okay.
roll initiative, and let me go ahead and describe the scene. You do, of course, see, as you've been mentioned, rodents of unusual sizes, mangy fur, blood dripping from from the maws. As you can see, the bones of a hand around them, perhaps their last meal.
Shit.
Over here, you see a peculiar sight. It looks like a man, and it's as tall as them, standing straight. Around it is a red bathrobe, and on top of its head is some orange piece of scrap metal. It looks like some sort of beast man with a pointed face, but it peculiarly has several heads. The other two appear to be sleeping, while the middle one looks straight at you. But he's an intruder. He attacks us. Citizens of the underworld attack. And we will go ahead and do initiative. As you have chosen to attack. Rat number 1, rat number 2, and of course, everyone's favorite, rat number 3. Alright. Let's see. The rats are, of course, faster and more agile than you, and so they shall advance first. This one, just to clarify, their movement is 6. This will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rush straight up at you, straight into battle, and go ahead and attempt to nibble at you. And it does not do so successfully.
Haha.
The rat king in the back will go ahead and shout at you. "He's after my gold! Don't let him have my gold!" Let's see, and I do not believe he has a ranged weapon. He's going to go ahead and stand here and cheer on his rats. The other rat will, of course, come in, and it'll scramble over the pile. And it will also attempt to attack you with a +10 bonus because it has a friend. And it will gnaw at your right leg.
Not if I dodge that blow.
Well, let's see if you do, Master Dwarf.
I do not.
Indeed, you don't. So we'll come to damage. And roll a remarkable 10 as its as its teeth sink straight into a major vein.
I came completely unarmored, so that only subtracts 4 from that, so I take.
You mean you have no armor at all? Or you just forgot it?
He came with no armor, and he couldn't afford any to start out with.
There you go. Can't afford armor. Slightly different. Well, that spells trouble for you for sure.
Yes. Let's see, I took 6 out of 11, so that's 5 left.
Indeed. However, it is your turn as the rats begin to wail upon you. What does Mordren do? Master Dwarf. Impeccable fighter.
Let's see, I do have a good weapon skill, but I don't think I'll outlast these guys, so I'm going to have him run. Well, he only runs 9, and there's a long way to go.
Alright, the rats will try to snap at you as you leave. Since this isn't a retreat action or withdraw.
Right, because they'll just keep catching up to him.
Okay, so one will attempt to snap at you, and the other one will run its claws against the dirt behind you. So go ahead and feel free to run as far as you wish, or as far as you can. Alright,
All right.
run back up the tunnel towards your traps and waiting.
Are in the movement rules, is it possible for Mordred to do another run action and jump over the traps he knows are there?
I think the run action is the full action. But if you mean like next turn, you could
Yes.
probably hop over them as part of your action. As we understand the leaping rules, it's roughly the same as your movement, and it's hard to fail.
It is an action, though.
It is an action. So you could maybe move up and then hop over them. But it
Okay.
is the rat's turn. This one will come and start chasing after you. And it will double move to advance. Rat King, you can hear him huffing and panting behind. Yes, get him! Get him! He shall know the fear of the Under Kingdom. The other rat is right behind, but gets caught up on the platform. It's now your turn.
All right. Let us move up. I have move of 3. And then just jump over.
Indeed.
All right.
Okay. Now's the rat's turn. The rat chases after you and steps right into the trap. The rats do not understand what the traps are, so perception doesn't matter to them, only agility. However, it sticks right into the trap and will take damage. And as it squeaks, it takes a bare minimum. However, that is still some... No, its toughness cancels out the rest of it, as its thick fur is merely caught up into it rather than its leg. The trap is disarmed, and the rat is stuck where it is until it can escape. And as an amendment to trap rules, trying to free your leg from a trap by yanking it until it breaks will continue to damage you, so he may attempt that. Rat King huffs and puffs along. Yes, do not let him get away! And this other rat will attempt to run up here and run into this trap. The rat will not avoid it. It will take 4, which is mitigated down. There we go. And now it is your turn. Both rats appear to have activated the traps. They're as dumb as rats, as trapped as rats.
And now they're as fucked as their mothers.
All right.
Bring the hammer down on them, Sigmar.
Oof. That's nasty. They do not have the ability to parry, and they do not have the ability to dodge, I believe. Yep, they certainly don't. So that is a solid hit. Give me some damage. 8. An 8 do is a devastating blow to its right front leg. As you can hear it sort of crunch and its screech as its back leg is caught. It, of course, does not appreciate this at all, and it will go ahead and do a full out attack, trying to completely dismantle the leg that it had bitten earlier. It gets a +20, and yet, despite all of its rage, it's still just a rat in a bear trap. Sewer King will approach. And since he's smart, he gets a chance to see what's happening here. But it is a little bit too dark for him, and he steps straight into it. He has a lead pipe in his hand, which appears to be covered slightly in a little bit of gold paint. Can he get through the trap? He does not. So he too will screech, and like his other rats, also be trapped. He does not make noise other than mere surprise. But he is trapped. And the last rat will attempt to struggle. As a result, does not take any damage this time. Mordren.
Alright. It worked so well the last time. Let's see what happens if I damn.
Ooh, a very minor hit for sure. But it squeaks nonetheless as you crush its back leg, the same one that is caught in the trap. Perfect, easy pickings. It is not too happy with this. Theta, remind me, we covered last time. If it does a full-out attack and it has allies, they will stack, correct?
I believe that's what we've covered now. That the rules seem to agree that bonuses stack.
Alright, so he is full-out attacking. He has no defenses and does not care. But nonetheless, he misses. The Rat King is wielding his pipe, and is not quite as defenseless as his rat companions. So he's going to merely aim, and with the help of his rat friend that is outnumbering you, completely failed to miss you. That's
No, he did fail to miss you.
indeed.
No, he didn't fail. God damn it, your double negatives are very confusing.
I know. Oh, the rat manages to break free.
Which one?
This one back here.
Uh-oh.
And so he is going to go ahead and swim through the river. And come up behind you. That is his action for the time being. As he had to break out and then move.
Alright, is there a grapple move to push somebody somewhere where they don't want to go?
I think we covered this the last time we were in this area, in fact. Yes, you can grapple someone, and then later you can drag them with you.
I imagine it would be hard to swim in shit with an iron trap on your legs, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't have grapple put down in my... I guess it's an unarmed attack?
Yes, it would be. You do weapon skill to hit.
I'll just roll with... Wait, I have grappler. Let me take a look and see.
I believe...
I have
No,
wrestling.
it's like an unarmed strike one that lets you hit better, but grappling lets you grapple better.
Yeah,
No, very
plus
descriptive.
10% weapon skill, plus 10% grappling strength tests.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where the grapple rules are exactly. I'm going to go to unarmed combat. Here we go. Inflicting damage. Let's see. Attempt to grapple with a standard attack. Resolve it falls. Character must first hit. Opponent then makes an agility check. If the agility check fails, he is grappled. Both characters are incapable of dodging or parrying for the duration. Outside melee attacks have a plus 20 weapon skill. The only actions grapple character can make is to break free as a full action. And this is an opposed strength check. Otherwise, grapple is maintained. On the grappler's turn, you can take a full action to simply maintain the grapple, or attempt to damage your opponent, which requires an opposed strength check. If you win, you inflict normal unarmed damage. If his opponent wins, no damage is inflicted. And you can, of course, voluntarily choose to let go, since you'd be in control.